What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kyber Cantina. We are in Sable Grove Media. It's where we record all of our podcasts, and we do all kinds of media. So if you need anything, let us know. We will hook you up. And as always, I'm here with my sound engineer, baby Jamie. What's up, Jamie?
Hey, what's up, man? No, I'm just...
Yeah, okay. So my name is Anubhav. It means experience. I'm here with my friend, Apurva Oza, a.k.a. Europa Oza. What's up, Apurva?
Arey, what's up, man?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, yaar. I'm just sitting here thinking about what my name means. Apurva means never before. So
Never before.
Are we about to have a never before experience?
Maybe, yeah. That's what's gonna happen. My dad named me very carefully.
Kya baat hai?
And you often tell me about my own last name. It means something with the stars.
Yeah, so this is sort of the astronomer's curse. I have to actually think that in the Big Dipper is known as Saptarshi in Sanskrit. And there are 7 stars, and one of the stars is a double star system, Vashisht and Arundhati.
Beautiful.
We knew thousands of years ago, man.
Yeah.
Even in the time of Germans, right, Jay?
So thanks for being here, dude. We're going to talk physics and Star Wars today, a little bit about Apurva. He's a doctorate in astrophysics. He is going to be in Scientific American's March issue for 2021. It's called The Race to Find Alien Moons. He's featured in this issue, and it's his first major general public science publication. So congratulations on that, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. I grew up reading Scientific American, so a lot of things I've learned was in America, after all.
Yeah. And you finally lived up to your dream. Is it like what you wanted, or are you finally there and you're just like, well, okay.
No. I'm not even close to there, whatever that is.
Apurva is also currently one of the editors for the journal Universe with a capital U. And this morning, in the US this morning, he did a talk on Zoom called Activity on the Zombie Planets Orbiting Pulsar 1257 plus 12. They're the first exoplanets ever discovered by man. He did this conference on Zoom, and it's the first electronic conference for Universe. And we're going to put the YouTube link in our description, right? It's coming on YouTube.
Yeah, man, that would be good.
So what does that mean? Activity on the zombie planets orbiting Pulsar 1257 plus 12. I sound like an alien.
Right.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was. It always starts with alien worlds. That's what captivates the general public, I think. And generally, when you're trying to do a multidisciplinary collaboration, you actually want to go out of your bounds and just say, okay, this is something I don't know, but this is something I know. And so you try to communicate that, and that's how you end up on pulsars.
Yeah. What are pulsars?
Yeah, so when you end up with aliens on pulsars. Pulsars are these rapidly rotating neutron stars with one of the strongest magnetic fields known to mankind and womankind. Yeah. That they have a magnetic field strength of 1 billion Gauss.
What's Gauss?
A Gauss is like 10 to the minus 4 Teslas.
Okay. Yeah, because see, even when you say that, I don't have a metric for how much energy you're talking about.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, in energy units, that's just too much to calculate right now.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And so Pulsar 1257 plus 12 is what? A planet?
So it's like this.
No, it's a pulsar.
But
it's a specific one. So these pulsars are the stars that have all this energy.
Yeah, it's a star that had already exploded. So you know the supernova, right?
Yeah. At the end of a star's life, the star explodes.
Yeah.
And then in its place is a new star, right?
It goes full kabloom, and then it shocks back and becomes this tiny core that's only 1.4 times the mass of the sun.
Okay.
Right.
1.4 times. You said only. That's what's crazy.
Right,
it's almost 1.5 times the mass of the sun. It occupies way less space. And that's, you said, small?
10-kilometer radius.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and that's where the pulsars come from.
Yes, sir.
So you're looking at zombie planets.
So there's a planetary system orbiting this pulsar.
Okay.
And there's about 3 of them, and they're the first known exoplanets to us. The Nobel Prize discovery in 2019 by Michel Mayor and Didier Queloz, that was for the first detection of a planet orbiting a sun-like star. And so that's the funny thing, that these are...
A sun-like star like our sun.
Yeah.
That star, the Pulsar, is like our sun?
No, the pulsar, the pulsar would be a neutron star, like a black hole.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very funny. Like it would be like 4-kilometer Schwarzschild radius. Sorry, I talk in kilometers. Should talk in miles, but I never get the 1.6 thing right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to do the math. I'm here in America.
But anyways, that's the thing. There's 2 types of stars you can have planets around, like sun-like stars. Well, many types of stars. It's a paper we're working on in Bern about how you can have dwarf stars with planets, you can have giant stars with planets, you can have yellow dwarf stars like our sun, a G2V.
A G2V.
And around Tatooine, there's 2 stars. One is an M dwarf, well, it's very red, so that's more like M, or even there's FGK stars, all that. But and then the other one looks like a sun-like star.
Okay, what do the letters denote?
Oh, it denotes the spectral index. So a mnemonic device that we learned, outdated from 1930s astronomers, was like, "Oh, be a fine girl, kiss me," is how we remembered that.
OBAFGKM.
That's right.
Okay. Oh gosh, that's terrible, but fine.
Why not? Oh, be a fine guy. Kiss me there.
Sure.
Yes, doubles, man. Doubles. You always have to have 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1.
Yeah. Doubles.
Good.
Okay.
Doubles.
All right, I understand. So tell the people how we met.
Yeah, so that's a very funny story. It was actually Tony Robinson, the middle school band director, who told me to go up downhill and march for Joshua Potter. Get over there and hike your butt up there and play the snare drum. They ain't got a drum line. And I was pretty excited because I wanted to, be in the drum line. I love drum line. I love the beats. I think that's how me and Anubhav interact, how our consciousnesses converge. And he tells me to go up there, and I'm just sitting there in the cafeteria, and out of nowhere, Joshua Potter, the high school band director, brings in Anubhav Vashisht, just chilling with his fucking hat on, or he's got his like sleeveless white shirt. Damn, he's riding bikes around town.
Yeah. I think about this moment because in our high school, the demographic of Indian kids was so low that we were pretty much the only 2 there. And we both played snare drum. And that, was cool, but I think the adult that introduced us from his perspective must have known that we would be friends for a long time because all those things lined up so well.
Exactly. There's I was going to say, there was also Adit Shukla, who became valedictorian. So 3 Indians in this entire school of 1,000 at least.
Yeah. And you and I and another friend of ours who all played drums ended up in Central District's band, competing with hundreds of kids.
Kuntal Shah. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Kuntal.
So we had something going. It was good. So I wanted to ask you, though, you were always good at so many different things. Even when going to NCSSM, I wasn't sure what was going to happen to you. Why astrophysics? Why did you end up there?
I'm really good at a lot of things, like also making water sounds. Astrophysics is what the audition at UNC Chapel Hill's percussion ensemble was like. I sight read this piece, play it. He asked me what my major is. I say physics and astronomy. He takes the thing down of the sheet. I think he's stunned. He's like, damn, man, he really hit that paradiddle on the block. And he looks at me and goes, wow.
Astrophysics.
Wow. Astrophysics. Oh, man. So why astrophysics? So, my mom made me read a lot of books. 2nd grade, I go in the library. I'm in fucking New Jersey, talking like who knows what I'm talking. Probably didn't even know how to speak English at that time.
Right.
And I go and get 2 books. One is Scientific Progress Goes Boink by Bill Watterson.
Wow, beautiful.
Calvin and
Scientific
Hobbes.
Progress Goes Boink. It was Calvin and Hobbes?
It was Calvin and Hobbes.
Wow.
And then I get a second book, because doubles always. Right, Jay? JJ, yes. He's right here, just chilling. And then the second book was called Neptune by Seymour Simon, or Simon Seymour. One of those I have 2 first names kind of fellas.
Yeah. Jack Michael or something. What do you even call those guys?
And that was the spark for science. I was thinking dinosaurs, and that's when I started thinking dinosaurs and planets.
Yeah, all together, and you ended up with planets.
Well, you don't know how many pterodactyls I own.
Yeah, that's very true. There's a game my friend plays where he roams, gets on dinosaurs. Ark. You can train dinosaurs. Anyway,
Amazing.
You study super IOs and exo IOs.
Yeah.
What are IOs? What are super IOs? What are exo IOs?
You know a little bit about this.
Okay.
IO.
IOs, I think, are moons.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the problem with space, is that it's so dark, you can't see anything out there. So if you find something, it has to be bright enough for you to see. Didn't you tell me that one day?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you look for moons, or planets, I suppose, that are volcanic.
Mm-hmm.
They're bright enough for you to see, right? And those are IOs.
Yeah, and they're they're exo-ios, because there's only one Io in the solar system, and that's Jupiter's closest moon with an M, and not satellite, because that makes the ring of Jupiter, actually, Amalthea and others.
Oh, those are called satellites.
Satellites with an
Satellite
S.
moons?
Yeah, so that's the technical term, right? So you gotta be technical. But Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto are special. They're the 4 Galilean moons.
Okay.
It's because they're so huge that they've got this public name, you know?
Right.
There's
So even you're Galilean in that Galileo found those moons. He could see them too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's this legend in around 300 BC, around Sikandar's time. I met somebody downstairs today named Alexander, and I was like, yeah, did you know that is actually Sikandar in Hindi? And he said, how dare you? And he slapped me, the fellow.
Yeah. We try not to keep him in the studio.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Super IOs and exo IOs.
Yeah, Io. So there's only one Io. I got into mythology because around 300 BC, there was a Chinese astronomer named Gande that claims to have seen an object, kind of reddish, next to Jupiter. Apparently what he did is he covered Jupiter with a branch and then stared at it and looked for glimpses of light.
Yeah, he
Near
cut off
Jupiter.
the light from Jupiter so he could take in other light. Okay.
Yeah, because Jupiter saturates the image of your eye looking at it. So if there are moons there, which you can see technically with the naked eye, you need to get the glare out. And so there's a claim. It's in our book. We're writing it. I'm writing 2 chapters. One is the mythology of Ganymede.
Okay.
And I trace it back to the Vedic age, just saying that Guru is Jupiter, it's Brahaspati in Sanskrit, and the Devas worship him. So in terms of moons orbiting, these little satellites could be the Devas or the gods.
Right.
But I digress once again. So anyways, Io is one of Zeus's I don't know how to say,
His
thoughts?
Yeah, that's accurate for the time.
Yes.
Zeus was definitely getting a lot of action. I think he's the one for sure, Disney's most popular representation of Zeus is as inaccurate as possible.
Yeah. He's definitely just
He's definitely getting laid.
fucking shit up, and
show.
that's why all these people get up in there in the constellations, like Andromeda, Cassiopeia, fucking Orion. Who knows what is he Orion himself?
Zeus? I don't think so. I don't even know a story about Orion. When you say Orion to me, I think about Darkseid and the New Gods from DC Comics. I don't even know. Yeah.
Have you seen Orion D's though?
Hey, man.
Whoa!
Apurva's always trying to get me with
Orion's Nebula, Horsehead Nebula. Look it up, guys. Google Orion's Nebula and then see where it is.
Yesterday, Apurva was talking to me about USB, USB-C, USB-D.
Well, David Steiner was talking to you about that.
And he goes, I always look out for this joke, and I don't know how he always gets it with me. Today, I caught it on the podcast. You can rewind it and hear it. But he said to me yesterday, 2 days ago, you know what USB-D is? And I said, no. And he said, USB-D's nuts. I try to watch out for that joke. I finally, after like 16, 17 years, for the first time on this podcast, saw it and stopped it from happening to me. So I'm so glad that I have a recording of this and that I've successfully prevented this stupid joke from getting me.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Okay, talk to me about Dragon Ball Z before we dive into Star Wars.
Yeah.
Question one.
I love that you're wearing a Batman shirt.
Power levels, thank you. You know me. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I'm usually wearing a Batman t-shirt.
I love it. Yeah, so I'm roughly at like 800 million, and power level scales are like, they go from a state kind of like the Force, and that's why I wanted to bring that up, is it's kind of like the Force that you start in a state of, let's say, consciousness, but then you get elevated to some kind of subconsciousness level that is kind of like a dream, which is below maybe in geometrical space. But these creatures, the Saiyans that is, or
the Saiyans,
gifted martial artists, are able to increase their power levels to extremely high states just by meditation.
Okay.
And the Japanese are known to be very loyal and proud Buddhists, at least back in the day.
Yeah.
And therefore, they have this deep knowledge, like embedded in their epigenetics, and what is heard, shruti, we say in the Vedic language, is just like what is said, what is heard, shruti. And so that sort of thing creates a Dragon Ball Z universe, which is actually so, I would dare to say, accurate to what we see.
Wow, cool.
What we see today, like Planet Namek. Okay,
yeah, Planet Namek. That's where the Zayn's
world.
come from, right? Frieza blew up Planet Namek.
Yeah, the central villain. It's not a plot alert here, well, mute the next minute if you don't want to know the central.
Spoiler alert for Dragon Ball Z. Okay.
Central point of Dragon Ball Z. Frieza is the villain, and he blows up planets. He's a planet destroyer.
Yeah.
So in this minute, the point is he's the central villain, and the central hero seemingly is Goku.
Yeah.
But it's actually Gohan, because the whole time they're talking about his potential energy. That is such a mystical, abstract concept that might not be physically accurate.
Right.
And so all these little mathematical derivations exist in Dragon Ball Z. And even in Star Wars, and I think that's the subject of our podcast today. Like, what is the physics?
What is it, right? How
behind
does it work?
These extremely beautiful tales that Akira Toriyama wrote, George Lucas got bop. That means his father.
Yeah.
In derogatory terms.
Yeah, it does. Yes, correct.
Bapu.
Yeah.
That's what we used to call Gandhi.
His papa. Yeah. Everyone's papa. So yeah, Planet Namek. Namek has 3 suns around it.
Yeah.
Tatooine has 2 suns around it.
Dvita.
So
binary.
Let me think. We talked about Tatooine a while ago. It has 2 different kind of suns.
Yeah, stars, yeah.
Well, what are those?
Yeah, the 2 suns are, I just see the posters, and it reminds me of this exoplanet called Kepler 16b. I don't know.
Huh? A real planet?
It's a real planet.
Tatooine reminds you of a real planet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Kepler 16b have in common with Tatooine?
Well, NASA sort of popularized it, and they're good at doing that. Kepler 16b.
Yeah, they have no funding. They have something market themselves.
Let's go buy some guns.
Yeah, dude. Couldn't we use gunpowder to just launch ourselves to the moon?
Yeah, I was thinking I could just put my butt in some gasoline and then light it, and I'll rock it up like
all we need to
Yosemite
do
Sam.
is fly to Nigeria and get vibranium.
All right. That's a good idea.
Apurva and I did grow up in the South.
As 2 brown guys, like, we're the darkest motherfuckers at Wakefield High School. Like, yes, there were African Americans, but we were the ones, they're like, I don't know about those kids. They're
These
kinda
were
weird.
African Americans with really nice cars. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to stick together, but that's what it is. Like in high school, you're just like aware of races and racism. But
we lived on Wakefield Plantation.
Wakefield Plantation, and we were driving through Wake Forest, and you would see like fucking Emmanuel's Manor or like
Gene's
house, and you're just like, wow, there were like shackles in those basements, like fucked up. And you don't feel that like in New York, like in New Jersey, you don't feel it as much, and you see that Union Confederacy disparity sometimes.
Over here you do.
But that's all politics, and I think we're talking about this because like space politics can also go sour and lead to destruction, such as Darth Vader and Frieza.
Yeah.
And so Kepler 16b, full circle, is Tatooine. I haven't done the calculation myself, but it has 2 stars. One is a M dwarf or a red dwarf star.
Okay.
They're infrared bright. That's why they look red. If you go outside, actually, slow it down. Let's all slow it down.
Okay, let's slow down.
If you go outside in the night sky and you had, instead of your regular glasses, your blue light glasses that block the glare from the television or the screens,
right?
You've got red light glasses, or just infrared goggles, let's say, that are like sensitive to, let's say, 1 micrometer. Then if you put those on, the night sky will be lit up red because the most abundant kind of star are red dwarfs.
Really?
Yes,
and they're
sir.
just so dark we can't see them with the naked eye.
They just don't emit enough visible light, poor guys.
Could you use that to see all kinds of
going,
different stars then? Like you can see stars in every type of visual spectrum using that, right?
That's a fine guy, girl, kiss me.
Right. The acronym. Yeah. Okay.
Don't you go thinking there's 2 G types there. It's one only.
Okay.
What's your gender, Jamie?
Jamie doesn't talk.
Oh.
That's not permitted. Talk to me about a Kamehameha, and then we're gonna talk about Star Wars.
Hold on, I'm just recovering. This podcast is sponsored by La Croix. It's 0 calories, 0 sweetener, 0 sodium. Innocent, apparently. There's no sodium, but I hope there's potassium in here because there's fucking hibiscus.
So there's this. So like hosting a podcast requires you sometimes to guide your guests through a series of things and be in control, so to speak. And often when Apurva and I get together, I lose control of him specifically. To give you a comparison here, there's a scene in Iron Man 1 where Tony Stark shows up to the plane so late, and his homie, Rhodey, that's me in the scenario, Apurva is Tony Stark, is like, I've been waiting here for you for like 3 hours, which is classic me and Apurva. And then Tony Stark gets on the plane, and Rhodey's trying to work on business. They need to go and sell this thing in Afghanistan to the U.S. Army, okay, Jericho. And Rhodey, Stark's like, yeah, I'll take a sake, make that 2 sakes. And he's like, we're not drinking right now. We're working. That's me. We're not drinking right now. And then they cut to the next thing, and the flight attendants are now on stripper poles, and Rhodey is completely trashed with Tony Stark on the plane. And that is me and Apurva. So yeah. Star Wars.
Damn.
So,
that was a pretty good analogy.
Which is
Iron Man is inspirational for me.
It's a horrible drink. I am not down for it. But once in a while they have a flavor that's tolerable.
Yeah, I tried to be like hibiscus limoncello. You guys should.
I mean, I've been drinking it.
Sorry, limoncello.
Yeah, we have to be accurate.
Yeah, conoscere il mio amico. Il nome is Alessandro. Alessandro, ragazzo, dore.
Wow. So,
sorry, that was a shout out to all my Italians.
Question.
Yeah, what up?
How do people in Star Wars travel through space and they don't age at all? They like go so far distances, they travel at different speeds, they're around different planets of different densities, and they're on these planets of different densities and speeds, yet still they don't age when they run into each other again.
You just gotta ask the question. Ask the one true question.
Well, I don't know. What's the question?
Chewbacca.
Okay.
Ask it. It'll link into the...
What planet does Chewbacca come from? I don't know.
No, Chewbacca's master.
Oh, how does the Millennium Falcon work?
How
I remember
does the Millennium Falcon work?
I don't know.
So, if we're gonna talk about time, ladies and gentlemen, the Millennium Falcon has the hyperdrive installed in it. It's one of the few spacecraft that can do that, right? Like, I'm sure Anakin Skywalker figured out that technology is smart as fuck. And that is what is a conundrum, that if you go faster than the speed of light, you might be affecting time as well. That's the whole
Yeah, because light
point.
can't reach you. So like what we're observing with the light, we start to move forward through that light faster than it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are we not experiencing things around us that happened before at that point, right? So
Yeah, and it seems to imply, like there are these idea of these particles, like these tachyons, etc., that had some kind of non-trivial or like superluminal velocity. But that's getting into some quantum that I'm not ready to get into yet.
Okay.
But my point is that the classic paradox is called the twin paradox. So
Okay.
take two Indian uncles, Shirish and Girish. These are actually two twins. They're born roughly, 5 minutes apart,
Okay.
10 minutes apart,
yeah, so
And
they're the same age, yeah.
from the same mother, in the same town, in the same hospital,
Right.
in the same bed. But immediately when Girish is born, he is put on a vessel, boom, out to outer space, and he's moving at close to the speed of light. Now, say he's going to Vega, a very close star. It's generally defined as a magnitude 0. If it goes there, then Girish actually will come back when Shirish is like 60 years old, and he is only 15, or he's 20. So just say 20 and 60. And this all, the number, how old he is, maybe Shirish is 108 and Girish is only 8. So this could also happen, and it depends on the factor gamma. And the factor gamma dictates the time dilation factor
Okay.
in special relativity, which was thought of by Einstein in 1905.
Okay. Yeah, I've had that relativity explained to me. So traveling through space is, to put it simply, if one person stays on the planet the whole time, they'll return to each other at different ages.
Oh, right. I didn't even. So I was sort of like wondering there was like a wild raccoon noise earlier. So I was thinking about what Shirish and Girish were doing in their lives to speak to me so profoundly.
Yeah.
And anyways, it turned out that the better explanation is to say that when you go close to the speed of light, the length scales start to contract, and inversely
scale.
time actually slows down.
Okay.
And so when time slows down in one clock that's moving close to the speed of light, when you come back, time slowed down, so only like 1 minute had passed and 1 year had passed for the person in the inertial reference frame. So it's the one not moving. It's the one not moving at the speed of light.
Okay. So hold on. All right. So the people that are not moving at the speed of light,
Say Shirish.
right, on the planet,
Yes.
he's gonna live his normal life, and then the person that's moving really, really fast, when they come back, they will still appear to be the same age, because that person moving really fast was experiencing time slowing down, not speeding up. So it doesn't matter how much they travel through light speed, less time is passing while they're traveling through light speed, so they're not going to come back to each other different ages.
No, they are.
Okay.
They'll come back different ages because that's the point, that time actually slows down. It's mysterious.
How did this guy from Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How did he end up a different age than his daughter? His daughter grew up and everything, like all old.
Now, Interstellar, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, is one of the greatest movies of all time. Kip Thorne at Caltech helped write that film. And it's the only film, to my knowledge, that has evidence and the feeling. That's what cinema does, right? It makes us feel something after we leave the auditorium. the feeling of gravitational time dilation, which is Einstein's general theory of relativity. Not the special one. Arey yaar, special hai. Special means la relativité restreinte on French, restricted relativity. So here you let yourself be free with gravitational fields, go near a black hole. Cooper, Matthew McConaughey's character, what does he say? He says like, 1 minute, 7 days, folks. 1 minute, 7 years.
Yeah,
something
that's right.
like that.
That's right.
I forgot the time dilation factor, but that time dilation factor is what's gonna dictate him being much younger than Murphy, his daughter, whom he left when she was like 10.
I like asked you a question randomly. I didn't think you'd know Interstellar like that. But listen, I appreciate you being on. We have set the stage here scientifically to dive into Star Wars. So I'm going to bring you back and we're going to talk some Star Wars and hop in immediately. But I hope you guys have enjoyed and I hope to see you for the next one until our paths cross.
Arey yaars, it was such a pleasure to have you guys here. Kyber Cantina is a nice place to follow lightsabers. Try it out. And, hit up purvaoza.com one day. Check it out. See, why does that guy have only a mustache? Why does he also have long hair? Why did he cut his hair? Why are there moons around gas giant exoplanets? What is up in space now, 2121? Ciao.